So I'm going to share a little bit about the pastels that I use for creating the color on all my fish and seafood elements. I use what's called soft pastels. They're chalk pastels and they are easy to use for this technique. What I do is I like to scrape off the powder from the chalk pastel, and I store it in these little containers. You get a package of them at the dollar store, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them come in a package, and they're about $1.99, somewhere around that. But they work great for storing the powder. And what I do is I take my chalk, I use an X-Acto knife, and I literally just scrape off whatever I need on the side of the pastel. And that way I've got just enough to last me however long I want. And I do that with all the colors that I'm using for this particular project. Pastels come in usually sets where you get the entire range of colors, and I always have these on the go because I've really enjoyed using them. The dust is not, I don't use it in such a way where it's very dusty, which is good because I don't want to be inhaling it. But the pigments are really good and I can get good coverage with them. Now, I like to use the pastels in a dry and wet form. So I'm going to give you an example. Before I bake the clay, I use polymer clay. So before I bake the clay, obviously I have to mold the shape of the item I'm using. So let's just say I'm going to make a fish. And I'll just put one here. So I would form my fish, shape it out, and with the raw clay, not yet baked, which is like this, you can use the powder of the pastels to apply color, and it grabs the color really beautifully because it's raw clay. You can see just by stroking on the color, and you can build that color up as intense as you want it or as light as you want it. So let's just say what I was using this piece for is I was making some little fish cutlets. So I'm using it as a sample here to show you. So you can build up the color on the raw clay, and I like to work with white or very light shades of gray because that allows my color to be more intense, and it takes on a more translucent look as opposed to, say, using orange clay to make an orange fish. This way I get a nice variation of the orange hue itself. So you can see I can control the intensity of the color going from darker to light just by how many layers I put on. I can also add another color to it, and I'm doing all this on raw clay. If I have too much, I just dust off a little bit. And you can see I can now create a shade from the darker orange all the way over to a very, very light yellow. And that's why I like using the white or off-white or very, very light gray to build my form. So once I've created the coloring and markings that I like, I can then decide, okay, I'm going to bake my fish. So let's just say this was the inside of the fish. and I wanted that to look like I had gutted the fish. So I would go in there with bright red. You can blow off if you find you have too much. And I can go back and forth, just building on that color. So that would be my raw clay with the first application of the pastel dust. I'm not actually using the pastel by picking up the pastel and applying it to the item. That's not how you use it. The clay is very sensitive because it's not baked, so it's very soft. You can make all kinds of indents and marks on the clay whilst it's still in the raw form. So you have to be very gentle when you apply the color. Now let's just say I'm happy with this and I'm going to bake my clay now. So this would go into my little baking oven and I would bake it for the allotted time and let it cool off completely. When I take it out of the oven now, it's hard clay. It's like this. These have been baked. So these are really hard. There's nothing I can do to this that will damage the texture or the surface because it's been baked. So it's as hard as nails. So now I can take the fish, and let's just say I wanted to add more color, I could do that. If I wanted to add details, I could do that. But let's just say I wanted to skip this step and go straight on to painting the fish itself baked. I could choose to do a few things. I could rub on color with a dry brush. Let's just say I put down a yellow base first. And I scrub this color on with a dry brush. Or I can then go and take a tiny little bit of water. And I like to mix on a piece of tin foil. So I would just take a piece of tin foil, put it right in front of me. Put a tiny little drop of water on the table on my tin foil. I would pick up a little bit of the color that I want to use, and I can start to paint my fish using a little bit of water and pigment. So there's two ways you can use the pastel dust. You can use it dry and you can use it wet. And I use both in combination. And I don't have a rule that I follow. I just do it until I'm happy with it. So like with this fish, I want to give it a mottled look. So I would play up the pigment in certain areas. And I would let it dry. If I wanted, add a little bit of red on the underside, depending on what type of fish I was creating. You can use your fingers to soften whilst it's wet. You can push color into crevices and then wipe off, and that helps to create a variation of color. The fins and the gills are usually darker. And I would set this down to dry. Only takes a few minutes for it to dry. And then I would come back to it again. I might add a little bit of green. I might add a little bit of gray. It just depends on the type of fish I'm striving for. And this one, I'm going to put a little more yellow. And that helps to intensify the orange that I'm working with. And you can see I'm dipping from one to the other. My brush is wet, so it's picking up a little bit of the pastel powder and it's activating the pigment because the brush is wet. The brush has moisture in it. So as soon as it touches the powder, it activates it. If I want to clean my brush off completely, I wash it off, get the extra moisture out of the brush, and let's just say I wanted to play up the texture on the tail. I could then remove color. See, I can go back in and remove some of that color and just leave the pastel powder down into the crevices of the tail where I've created some texture. Same I could do around this area where I've created a little bit of texture on the body. And that just helps to create a variation of color from light to dark. So I just keep playing until I'm happy with whatever fish I'm creating. Now, let's just say this was done. It's not done, but I'm just going to say it's done. Then when this is bone dry, I would take a liner brush, which is a brush that has really fine point, doesn't have a lot of bristles. It's a round brush, you can tell because the ferrule of the brush is round. And that's how I would come in now and do my detail. So I might come in and I might paint inside the mouth, that line that's creating the mouth. I might drop a little bit of the straight red pigment down into that line. If I wanted to do a little bit of blood because he's a dead fish, I might just tap so it looks like a little bit of residual from where the hook or whatever was pulled out. So you would do your details if you wanted to create some little spots. You would do that. I have a mixture of a gray brown here. I never use black, but I do like to use a little bit of a brown. I would pick up a little bit of the brown and I might mix that with a little bit of red just to warm it up. And I might just touch the tips of the fins. The tail. I might put a little bit on the top of the head. Drop some into the eye hole just to darken it. A little bit on the underside of the body. And this just adds a little bit of shadowing and extra detailing. If I wanted to do a little bit of like spots, turn this around, a couple of little tiny spots on the top of the fish, I would do that. Markings. And I always soften it with my finger. I don't want it to be harsh. So anything that you're doing like this, you want it to be soft. You don't want the colors harsh, and you don't want the detail too harsh. And then I go back and just tap, 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 soften it a bit. So I would keep playing at this until I was happy with it. Now let's just say, okay, fast forward, we're all done the painting. Now I'm going to create that beautiful high gloss that I've got on some of my other fish. That pretty gloss. What I use to create that is a product called Triple Thick. I love it. Absolutely love this product. It's made by Decor. I buy it in an 8-ounce bottle. You can get it wherever art supplies are sold. And I like to put a little bit. I'll show you what I do. I keep a little bit, just the amount that I'm going to use. So if I just need a little squirt, I'll put a tiny little bit in my little container. Put the lid back on my big container. This broke off. I want to keep this airtight because I don't want this to dry out on me. And this little bit here acts like a reservoir. That's what I'm going to use. Make sure you got a clean brush. And I'm not finished with this fish, so it takes a lot longer to do all the details and everything. I would pick up my Triple Thick with a clean brush, and I would apply it. I'll just put another coat on this one here. And I always apply it fairly thick. Not gobs of it, but thick enough so that it really looks wet, because fish are going to be sitting on ice and I want them to look wet. And I would set this aside and let it dry. It is water cleanup with the Triple Thick, and seal my container. This will only stay for a couple of days without completely drying out, because these containers are not airtight. Air can still get down inside of them and dry the product out. So you don't want to fill this up with the Triple Thick. It'll be a waste. Just put enough that you're going to use for one session. And I keep using the same container over and over.